evening, everyone. Having a little snafu here right now, hitting wrong buttons and getting caught up on some crap. Okay, so this is Gil, Camppatton Family Compound. It is time for the Friday Night Homestead, and tonight's topic is chicken tractors versus movable fence. And how's everybody doing out there? I was doing okay till I had a little snafu here. And let's see. All right. I see some problems going on with some stuff here, but let's go over to the comment section and see who all's here. All right. So first one in was Crew 1351, then Phelan Clan Wolf, then Geeky Gardens. And those are the only ones so far that are making comments besides myself. Hang on, let me get a little drink here. All right. Hang on, my other thing here is up out of the way there. All right, there we go. All right, okay, numbers are climbing here, so we should see, hopefully we'll see some more people popping in to say hi. All right, so there have been several interesting things, since I scheduled this that came up about this topic, popping up, people doing different things and stuff. And across the street with my daughter and the kids over there, when the tree came down, we had to take down the part of the fence over there, and the deer have been coming in all of a sudden, where hopping the one fence and then coming into the backyard of the house across the street there, and really just causing some problems there. So yeah, we're going to be putting up some electric fence just to keep them, the deer, from trying to get over the fence. So into where the fruit trees are in the backyard over there, and some of the raised planter beds as well. All right. Second here. Well, numbers are still climbing a little bit, but nobody else is saying hi. So, yeah, I guess everybody's bashful tonight. All right, so let's get looking at this here, and I got some photos to show you of what I'm talking about here. All right, so this is a simple chicken tractor. They got wheels on the back side of it that they can lower down so it lifts the back end up. And then he just picks up the front and he just walks a little bit, sets it down, and they got a full-size door on this. They can get in there so they can fill the water containers there. And then some of them actually have some small granaries in there as well. And that way it'll they'll eat and go after all the bugs and everything else too, but then they'll actually go after some of the mash and stuff a little bit to supplement if they're not getting enough critters and stuff from the ground. And contrary to a lot of people's belief, chickens are on the carnivore side of being omnivores. If they could eat meat all the time, bugs and everything else, that's what they'd be going after. And Diana's in here. Actually, Jack, what several people in town have found out, that if they have just a 4-foot tall one, the deer come up and they'll bump the fence before they try to get over it, And if they get zapped, man, they just take off. They don't even try to get over on the electric fence. The deer around here are very spooked of electric fences and stuff. But with these chicken tractors and stuff, if you get it built right and stuff, or buy one that's pre-built, you go out there and you move it every day or two, and around the yard, around the field, whatever. and you get the chickens eating the bugs and stuff, and pooping there and scratching and digging and stuff. And Kaylin's here now too. And so you get stuff being mixed in and everything. And it helps get vitalize the field area. There are some people around here, just down the highway from me here, a couple miles, Dirt Patch Haven. And during the winter time, they have some couple greenhouses, and they got raised planter beds in there. And during the winter time, they move all the chickens into that area, and they dig and stuff and scratch and poop and everything else. And they take stuff out, food scraps, and put it in the planter beds, and the chickens pick at it and stuff, and helps, and they get the poop into their raised planter beds. Next one here, and with this the fencing and stuff, the electric fencing. Generally, the very bottom one is not energized; it's a ground one, and the ones up above it are energized, and then you get the ground rod back by the charger. And these are meant to be moved around for livestock, chickens, pigs, goats, cows, horses, to keep them in a certain area. If you instead of putting up a whole bunch of fence to divide, expensive metal fencing to divide an area off, you can run the fence around and just kind of move the sections around and kind of divide the area up. And you can do the same thing with the chickens. A lot of people like to loop it around in big circles. Oh, shoulder's killing me still again. So you got big circles of the fencing, and it keeps predators out and keeps the chickens in. Of course, with my daughter's chickens, she's got an 8-foot tall kennel fence around for the little chicken run, and half the chickens come out there, scratch a little bit, drink a little bit, fly over the fence in a flock, and they break up into like 3 or 4 packs, and they're wandering all over the property over there. Hang on, Jack's saying, got a fence around our garden, try to keep the raccoons out, but they get through it while you're at your mom's. Yeah, I'll talk to Mark, tell him to keep his relatives out of there. Now, I picked up, let me see if I can, hang on a second, let me switch back here as I bring something else up here real quick. Come on, where is it? There it is. I should have done this before. All right. Right. I type in electric fence and they're bringing up hose bibs, sprinklers, and crap that has nothing to do with electric fencing. Tree wrap, heat tape, that's not part of fencing. Jeez. And it's the very last thing to come up on it here is this fencing here. So let me get this up. So let me go ahead and bring this up for you. So I've ordered 2 pieces of this, which is 164 feet long. So that's 328 feet, linear feet, 49.5-inch tall fence. The black stuff at the bottom is not energized. All the green is energized, and the yellow on top is energized as well. And that's that one. It comes in a bundle rolled up like that, and it has the T-post on it. And so an Energizer 5.5 joules is recommended, but not limited to that. We go back here and come on, take it back. There we go. Back previous to the previous one. I also have I also have 3,300 feet of hot wire that I can run around the top of the metal fence. I got a bunch of the insulators. I also got extra of the fiberglass fence posts. I got a couple boxes of those. There's 50 packs each. I got an Energizer here. I was using last year around the fruit trees to keep the possums out of the fruit trees and keep from breaking them down. And I also got, I got the 5-inch clip-ons. I also got a 20-acre or 2-acre, no, 2-in-1 power, a 20-acre 2-in-1 powered Energizer for across the street for them to use as well. I just, haven't had time to put it all up yet, and made a couple, and got a set of these gate ones for the bigger areas out there where I'm going to be running the just the hot wire on. So, and I know there's other pieces that didn't show up in here that I know I got. It's not showing up, but yeah. I go ahead and drop that down, go back to that. Now, some people do a combination of both. They got a little, actually, that's not, this one is just showing a mobile coop that they, where the chicken's going to all go inside, and it looks like it's got an automatic door on it, so when the sun goes down, all the chickens go in, the door closes. They ain't got a watering thing out here, so they'll move the whole fencing around. But I have seen them where they've have a chicken tractor that actually is on the ground, and they move it too and move the fencing around too. Here's one that a homemade one, made out of PVC pipe. It's got 3-inch PVC pipe for its base, and then 3/4 or 1-inch PVC pipe for the hoops. And they got a homemade door in it. And then they cover this up with some flexible stuff you can get at Home Depot. And they just screw it all together and screw and glue it all together to put chicken wire over it. And then they just drag that around. Looking at this one here, I'm not sure. That almost looks like that's got, I got a bigger version of what you guys are seeing over here. I didn't notice it before because I didn't blow it up to the full size on the 40-inch monitor like I'm looking at it now. It almost looks like that green inside there is AstroTurf. So I don't know what they're doing with that. Here's a nice one. They got and what they do is they got on the back of the wheel, and they got a thing you can push on it, and it lifts it. It kind of pushes and locks and lifts the tractor up. And so when you pick up on the front, you're barely, it's pretty much balanced, so you're not lifting a lot of weight for yourself. And that's a taller one you can walk into. And this is how simple it is to move it around. She just rolls it out. It has two metal prongs that go into the dirt to stabilize it. You just put it in and you just set up the fencing. And yes, that is a black bear cub out there eyeing the chickens. I thought I'd throw that one because someone else put a little fencing thing around their beehives, and the bears were digging at the ground in front of it. You can tell every time they touched the fence, they got zapped, and the bears never got into the beehives. If you got a big enough area, you move it around enough. The chickens, people say that their chickens don't try to fly out. You know, because you move it around a big enough area, and you move it, you know, once a week or so. The chickens are out there just digging and scratching, unless you got too many chickens inside there. But yeah, they just move the fencing around once a week or so, and move the chickens to another area where they can do it. It's a little bit easier than going out there and moving the chicken tractor every day or every other day. All right, that's what I get. Those are the photos I got on that. Now, that's for basically, you know, talking about chicken tractors versus mobile fencing, or the movable electric fencing. The movable electric fencing is more of a must for certain other things that you want to do. Stony Ridge farmer, Josh over there, a couple of years ago put out several videos, and I think he even put some out last year, of how he creates paddocks out in the fields by stretching out, you know, hundreds of feet of fencing in an area, and just move the cattle, you know, and then they kind of close off the cattle, they do it up to the water trough, and then they just, you know, open it up, move the cattle to the next one, put it down, and then change it around for the next time they're going to change it. So they have one their cows are in, and the next one they're going to, and when they move them, then he just moves the fencing around again to get another one. And some people have put up the owls and stuff like that up on top of the chicken tractors that move and stuff. Someone put a solar panel out there on top of the chicken tractor and put up one of those advertisement inflatables that kind of goes, you know, just waving the arms around on it. And they just put it out by a chicken, and the chickens get used to it. But the hawks and everything else around go, oh, okay, no, there's something out there moving. I don't want to go near it. Some people have put up strings of old CDs that have gotten scratched or and DVDs that are non-playable anymore, and put those up hanging on a line with a fishing line down to it, so it blows around and stuff, to help keep the stuff away from it. But I think it was Josh at Stony Ridge Farmer made a big chicken tractor that is on using a 4-inch PVC pipe, and had it, you know, and at the front of it had the pipe instead of putting a 90-degree going across, you put a T there, and then put a 45 coming up, so it wouldn't dig in at all. It would give it a little rise to it. And his was big, and he can get in there, and he had several water cans hanging down. So yeah, that's the thing. You got to go out and fill the water cans, you know, make sure that they have plenty of water for them. And, you know, for the movable tractors, And even with just the areas, you got to make sure there's water out there for them. Yeah, that works too. I'm trying to remember. There are two breeds that where the roosters don't crow in the morning. The roosters don't make any noise unless there's danger. Uh, yeah. The one of the things. Oh shoot! I should let me see if I can find that. Bring that thing back up here. Hang on. I covered all that, so I can drop that down. Bring that back up. Okay. Now I got this. These are they clamp onto the posts, the metal poles and stuff. I got a set of these because on the top of the the dog kennel run that the dog kennel run my daughter's using for the chickens to come out. You know, that's supposed to be the main thing. I was going to run this around on top with some of that hot wire around on it, and that they have power. They put power out there, and they can be plugged in. That way, anytime one of the predators around tries to climb that fence, and they forget to go out there and close the door on it, well, they got to climb over the top, and they're going to get zapped. So, because I would hook the ground line to the fence, and then have the hot wire going around the top. So when they try to go between the hot wire and the fence, or touch the hot wire to try to get over it, they're going to get the snot shocked out of them. And Uncle Richard's in here. So yeah, these are these are kind of interesting, and these can also be used on regular T-posts too, when the T-posts are put in backwards for where you want to put on it. These are more expensive than the the Snap-on plastic ones. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting that across the street there as soon as we get the one fencing up, and I'm gonna put down the T-post. Let's see if it shows other stuff here. Oh, okay. I have to look into that one. But I do have a bunch of the fiberglass posts that I can put to run extra wire around. There's the snap-on ones. These snap on to the T-post and keep the so you can run a hot wire at the top of it to keep stuff from trying, like horses and cows, from leaning over and pushing down on it, trying to get into the grassy area where the chickens are, or if you're just using the electric fence to control the that livestock. If you got wooden fences, they got this over the third one over here is screw in insulators, so you can screw it into the wooden post and run your hot wire around. That was poly hot wire. You can also get the they got the aluminum stuff too. When you get the short T-post adapters, I got the 5-inch ones just to make so the cows don't try to get around it. It's sticking out away closer to the cows on my side here. They got cows on the other side of the fence here to keep them away from it. Yeah, all right. Go back this way. So yeah, there's also all sorts of things, different things. You look at, see what type of fencing you have, so you can get that there. Let me go back up here. 24 pieces, 25 pieces. Hang on a second here. I'm going to open that in a new link. Okay, here. Let me take this and go back. 3. I'm going to look at this one here. And there's all sorts of different ones. There's 35, there's 40. Mine was 49.5 inches down here. You can get it 42 inches by the 164, 35 inches by the 164, 48, 42. Yeah, there's different ones and different lengths and stuff. And these are kits that come with it with some chargers and stuff on them. I've seen several videos of channels where they're raising pigs, and they get the short stuff that's 24 inches tall. I don't see any of it listed here yet, but you get the short stuff because the pigs go up, and the pigs have thick skins, yeah, but those thick skins are sensitive to electrical current. And their snouts are really sensitive to electrical current. And some others have done it. I've seen where they just ran a one of they used to get the fence posts, stick them in, and they got the spool of the poly braid, and they'll run it a little bit above the ground, run one 6 inches above that, and run one 12 inches above that, and the pigs stay in for that too. Also works great for sheep, stuff that doesn't jump. If you got goats, you got to go with the 48-inch. Otherwise, the goats will just jump over it. And there's all sorts of different ones you can get, different amounts of joules and stuff on it, which is the electrical pulse on it. But it comes in different ones, different setups. Now, the one I have, let me go back and see if I can find it here for you. Come on. One of the ones I got, let me look at it, see if it's on this page or the other page. All right, this one here is both solar and has a plug adapter, so it'll you can either run it off of solar or you plug it in, and it runs off a house current to power it. And there are several of them around out here like this. It has a little comes with a little battery. You got to open up because it comes in a special wrapped box and stuff with it in case the battery leaks. So you can so you have to open up the back, put it in, hook it up. That's a rechargeable battery. Yeah, there are a bunch of different ones out there to look at that do all sorts of different types of things. So yeah, I like the combination one because if it's cloudy for several days and I can go out there and grab onto it, oh, that doesn't hurt at all. Then I'll run an extension cord out there and plug it in. Goats will get out, it doesn't hold water. Yeah. Yeah. So you have a good selection of stuff, and there are for there are things in here you got to search through each part a little bit differently. And you know, depending on how much you want to pay and what you want to do, whether you're going to keep fowl in or goats in or sheep in or cows or horses. It's one of those things that just double check this on the chat there for a second. And what you're finding out of what you're working with, whether or not you need to step up if you just get a simple one, you'll find out fairly quickly if you got to step it up or not. Right now, the property across the street, for the most part, is surrounded by 4-foot high stock fencing where they have the they put in the 6-inch posts in, wooden posts, and then in between it they have a couple T-posts and a 6-inch wooden post, and they use railroad ties to do the corner sections, and so they pull it across and have put it all in and ran it up, put some gates in and stuff. So before we put livestock in out there, I got the stuff to do it. We just got to go around and put hot wire around the entire area where we want to keep horses, cows. We're not going to get horses as much as I'd like to get horses, but cows or goats in. And for part of it, we'll have to use the 49-inch, 164 foot long fencing to go across the one area to cordon it off, and then we can keep the cows or goats out there and keep them away from the orchard across the street. And but one of the things I have found out that is to with the movable fencing, when you put it in, is if you got a lawnmower out there, you can just cut yourself a path where it's going to be at to go through and put it in. If you put it in after all the weeds and stuff are up, because otherwise the weeds will start blowing against. You get a bunch of weeds blowing against, and all of a sudden you get a bleed off along it, and it's not working. On the new cow panels we're putting in across the street there, we're taking a 4x4, putting it underneath it by next to each post, so it's got 3.5 inches of space underneath, so my daughter or son-in-law can go out there with the weed eater and just along the bottom of it and keep the weeds from growing up into it and growing up into the cow panel and causing problems. And I'm going to put a hot wire across the top of it, and that will keep the 4 little Indians over there, like the grandsons, from climbing the fence. Because that's Daniel, he gets out, and if he sees me over there on the tractor, he's like, boom, I'll see him on one side of the fence. I'll turn around. Oh, there he is standing there right next to me. Go, how'd you get out? I climbed the fence. So, but it's not so bad with Danny, Oliver, and Aiden. The problem is with Eli sees him climbing it. Eli climbs the fence, and then he goes for a walkabout. And there's been several times the whole town's been on alert looking for him because he's just. And sometimes he just goes on a fast walk, and by the time they realize he's climbed the fence, he's a mile away, heading down not the highway, but one of the roads heading south, trying to get down to some power plant thing down the thing that where his special ed teachers have taken him down there, to look at. Now, I've talked to the wife, And we've talked about the chicken tractor idea. We've also decided that if we go with the chicken tractor idea, we're going to go king size and use either the ride-on mower or the Coyote to pull it around, because it'll be big enough, and we will just move it around every day. Because we have also talked about, besides getting chickens, getting some turkeys. So it's got to take it. It's going to need a little bit more space for it to do it. So that will be, if we ever do that, there'll be a lot of videos on that, and that will be a learning experience. So some of the stuff I found about it. Oh, you can also put one of those fence energizers on a chicken tractor. You put it out like you have like some of the ones that had the. Let me see if I can get those back up here. Find the one here. Actually, let me go ahead and make that big. Come on. There we go. So with the wood, you might need something a little better insulating on it. With the PVC, you can insulate energize the chicken wire so that any critter coming up there to test it, there's chickens in here, they're going to get zapped. I just realized something on this. I don't know if you guys can see it on the left-hand side here. They got two little doors that with carabiners on it here, one on each side, that they can open up and let the chickens out during the daytime and chase them back in at night. But this one is an all metal one. This one you can't energize, but if you have the ones like with the PVC pipe on it, you can energize the stuff, and that just zaps the critters trying. Whether it's a rat snake. I'm just trying to remember who all is having problems. The rat snake gets in there, goes after chicken eggs, or some of the other, the possums, the raccoons, the foxes, whatever. They'll get zapped and they will leave it alone. All right. I went through everything really quickly tonight. All right, tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping is another one of the. Hang on, let me switch it around. There we go. Is one of the after the event after the event type thing. And this is more of the. I don't want to put this. The misinformation, conspiracy theory stuff and it's about after the FEMA detainment camps are set up. No such thing will ever be set up by FEMA. What are your plans? So we're going to talk about that. I'll poke all the holes in it and talk about that bit of Monday back here on Camppatton Family Compound. We're going to take another stab at making and preserving gravy. Gray Man Prepping on Tuesday is talking about hydration. So we're going to talk about electrolyte water and what sort of containers you can put electrolyte water in that is not going to carry flavors over from one to another. Midnight Ride, and then next Friday here is what amendments are you adding to your garden this year? So that's what we're going to talk about next Friday. All right. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you learned something. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night over on Gray Man Prepping. All right. Take care.